Women's shopping methods can be broken down into two patterns. Oh boy. Type A throws anything that catches her eye into her cart, whether or not she has a need for it. Yeah, that's true for really anybody sometimes. Type B deliberates endlessly over cost efficiency, even when she has a pressing need and ends up buying nothing. My impression of the woman named Amane, probably influenced by her large build, was that she was likely the careless sort who'd followed the former pattern. But apparently I'm not much of a judge for these things.
次は八百屋さんに行こうか。
Like how I'm just the patsy right now. What? You're still buying? If you need vegetables, why didn't you get them at the supermarket just now? Jesus Christ.
スーパーより商店街の八百屋さんの方が安いんだもの。
I don't do that. If I'm there, if I'm right there, I'll just get it. I don't even care. I understand in theory that specialty shops are better than general retailers, but as the one being dragged around, changing stores this rapidly is a serious nuisance. Because Amane mentioned she wanted a buy oolong tea, I'd reached out for a 2-liter 158 yen bottle at the supermarket, only to then have her slap my hand lightly away. In her words, "Don't buy that here, get tea packs at the drugstore, and you can make 52 liters for 480 yen. Or something. I wasn't really paying attention. So I ended up following her to the drugstore as well.
すみません。玉ねぎと人参くださいな。
Mother of God, this is literally taking all day.
お、あまねちゃんいらっしゃい。今日も可愛いね。
Yeah, cute is one way to put it, I suppose.
でしょ。ねえ、奥さんに内緒でおまけしてよ。
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean...
あまねちゃんにはかなわねえな。よし、そんじゃおじさん、いちごのパックをおまけしちゃおうかな。
I mean, if she's... I don't know how I feel about this.
嬉しい。いいの？
Like, she's exploiting a man. I don't...
あまねちゃんだけのサービスなんだから、みんなに言っちゃダメだぜ。
I'm right here.
ありがとう。いちご、マキナが大好きなのよね。
Am I, like, off to the side? Like, I'm not even in sight range?
そういや、今日はマキボウは一緒じゃねえんだな。どうしたい？
Oh boy. Here I show up, probably.
はあ、今日はお米も買ったからタフな荷物持ちを連れてきたの。
Literally what I am this whole time, I suppose.
ああ。
Oh. Growling, the dirty old greengrocer sizes me up with a blatant scowl on his face.
なんであいつは気に入らねえ目つきしてやがるな。
Oh, please say a witty one-liner. Come on, do this for me, game.
そう嫌わないでやってよ。私の弟なんだから。
I'm your what now?
弟？なんで弟かよ。俺はまたてっきりあまねちゃんがろくでもねえ男と付き合ってるのかと思ってよ。おじさん早合点しちまったい。
I hate this guy. I'm not some worthless bum. I'm a true badass. You don't understand. I'm not sure what's so funny, but the greengrocer cackles heartily as he stares into my face.
ああ、ボス。名前は？
Oh, here comes. Hughie.
そうか、ユージか。いい名前じゃねえか。姉ちゃんの手伝いしてやれえな。よし、おめえにもイチゴやるから食え。
At least I'm getting something out of this, I suppose.
ビタミンが足んねえからそんな人殺しみてえな面になんだ。栃木のブランドイチゴだぞ。食え食え。
You don't... okay, so... You don't know my backstory! Alright, Yuji, be nice. Be nice! Thank you. I smile and lower my head in a slight bow, prompting the old man to shout, "What? You can smile after all?" in an even louder voice.
じゃあおじさん、ありがとうね。
I fucking hate this, Amane. Let's get the fuck out of here.
おう、また来な。サービスすっからよ。ユージもな。
I'm never coming back. Of course. Thank you. Damn it, all the hell in it.
あんた、その顔やめな。
What face? This is my face! What are you talking about?
そのひどい笑顔。まるで誰かに習ったみたいな顔だね。
You're strangely perceptive at times.
あんたってさ、たまにそうやって顔で嘘つくよね。そういう家系なの？
Fake smiles are an expression of consideration for others. You want me to scowl instead? I'm really good at that.
だったらもう少し上手に笑いなさいよ。バレバレよ。
I was taught that children's smiles and women's tears are weapons, but this is the first time my own emotional front was penetrated like this. I may have been underestimating this woman.
またそうやって怖い顔する。そんな顔するからマキナが怖がるんだよ。
I think Machina's just terrified of all men. It doesn't matter who they are. I was born with this face.
へえ、じゃあ、あんたのお姉ちゃんもそんな顔だったわけ？
Can we not talk about my sister? That's a deep, dark subject that I don't really want to talk about. My sister was... Well, yeah. Well, in her case, she always had this sleepy expression.
そうなんだ。
Why bring up my sister there?
まあ、なんとなく。
Is this gonna be a theme for you? You're just gonna keep bringing it up? You know, I don't. He doesn't really have a problem with it. More importantly, are we finished with the shopping yet?
あとはお豆腐屋さんで絹ごしと白滝を買うだけ。
She better be making me the best meal after all this. We're still not done. Look up the sky. Just carrying rice. So I'd been promised when I agreed to this shopping expedition, but in the end, I ended up following her around for a good 2 hours.
買い物に付き合ってくれてありがとう。助かったわ。
It is literally nighttime. As she speaks, Amane is packing away the ingredients she purchased, for some reason, in my fridge!
普段はマキナと一緒に行くんだけど、あの子と買い物に行くと、スーパーのお菓子売り場とかおもちゃ屋さんに寄り道したがるから時間かかるのよね。
Longer? One, that's pretty cute. Candies and toys. Second, longer? It's not a problem, but mind if I ask you something? Why are you putting that stuff into my fridge in my room?
だからこの部屋の冷蔵庫が一番大きいんだってば。
Woman! Okay, I can accept that. I'll accept that. That's not an answer to the question.
いいじゃない。どうせろくに使ってないんでしょ。ほら、いちごあげるからさ。
That's from the pack the old man at the green grocers gave to me.
私がいたからもらえたんじゃない。冷蔵庫の中の牛乳も飲んでいいからさ、ね。
If it's in my fridge, it's mine now. Just throwing that out there. It's not that I particularly care about her using the fridge, but her barging in here every single time she needs to get something would be a big pain in my ass.
そうだ。今日のお礼に晩ご飯作ってあげようか。
God, I was hoping that would happen. I've already cooked rice, and I got canned food for the side dish, so I'll pass.
おかず、缶詰なの？なんかわびしい感じ。それにお米って炊飯器もないのにどうやって炊いたの？
We just want to avoid all contact. Not avoid all contact, but just fend for ourselves. I'm using that over there. I point toward a cylindrical mess kit style rice cooker made of aluminum currently towering over the IH cooking heater in my kitchen.
飯盒で炊いたの？
You're damn right I am. That's what I got. You got a problem with it? IH heaters can't quite manage aluminum, so I've been using a gasoline stove I had with me instead.
サバイバルだな。よくそんな道具持ってたね。
You're damn right. It's only normal for a man to have a stove or two. Normal for a man is probably an overstatement, but it's standard equipment for a backpacker at least. Ideally, you want one that can use the unleaded gasoline you get from gas stations.
それじゃあさ、ご飯持って私の部屋来る？おかずが缶詰だけじゃ寂しいでしょ？どうせマキナの分も作るんだし、一緒に食べようよ。
God, hers is gonna be just the most extravagant thing, and mine's gonna be shit. No, I'll pass.
どうして？心配しなくても、こう見えても私、料理は得意なんだよ。
Yeah, Makino would be there, wouldn't she?
ああ、そっか。マキナ、まだユウジ君のこと怖がってるか。
Well, if she's... The way she's gonna stop being scared is if I am around a lot more. Exactly. I think it'd be better if I wasn't there.
この際だから仲良くなってよ。
I'll like chances. It's not gonna happen this fast. And if I go out of my way to eat quietly, she'll end up feeling more and more uncomfortable. I'll pass.
まあ、今日は仕方がないとしても、マキナと仲良くなってくれれば、いつだってご飯作ってあげるよ。
You telling me to become friends with her in exchange for food? I can get down with that.
そうは言わないけどさ、仲良くしてほしいっていうのは本音。あの子、ああ見えて友達作るの下手だからさ、ユウジ君の方から声をかけてあげてよ。
I don't have anything against her. And I don't want to be on hostile terms, so I'll try to talk to her. But I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to improve things between us. You understand? Since my personality is what it is. In response to my implied statement, Amine answers, "That's good enough," with her smile.
じゃあ、今日はありがとうね。
Alright, don't make this an everyday thing. God. As soon as the words are out of her mouth, Amine briskly leaves the room, but... hey, wait, you forgot! The overnight bag packed with Amine's spare clothes is still lying in the center of the room. That woman, she isn't planning to change my room again, is she? Oh boy. I mean, I might wake up to it, actually. More to the point, I'm sure I locked this door when I left this morning. How the fuck did she get in here? There aren't any signs of damage to the lock, and I can't imagine she's got a secret talent for lockpicking. Does she have a spare key? Maybe. Suo Amine. The creatures known as large women are mostly careless, but are weirdly attentive to certain details. They possess unusual intuition, as well as pointlessly large breasts, and on the whole, deserve to be handled with caution. That's how I'm handling Amine, though I like her. I like her character so far. No matter what sort of life you're living, you'll run into people who just won't listen to what you have to say. When words don't get through, the easiest alternative is beating them into submission. Yeah! Certainly a bit of a rough solution, but when you're dealing with another man, it's at least an option. But when you're dealing with a woman, let alone a shrimp of a girl who doesn't come up to your shoulder, it's a different story. If you start swinging your fists around out of irritation under those circumstances, anyone would call it bullying the weak. It's bad style and would leave an unpleasant aftertaste. What's called for in such situations is perseverance and patience. Two things which I do not have. In this age of rapid scientific progress, I'd like some machine you could stick on your back, throw the switch to Zen-like, and instantly gain infinite self-control. Yes! But sadly, despite the market potential for such a device, the world isn't yet such a convenient place. Well, no big deal. Fortunately enough, I'm pretty used to these endurance tests. Oh boy. It's been 5 minutes since I spotted Makino wandering aimlessly around the campus and called out, "What are you up to?" in a casual tone. But our casual tone probably sounds like, "What are you doing?" On the bright side, she reacted to my voice and stopped dead in her tracks instead of fleeing. But beyond that, things haven't gone well. Staring fixedly up at my face, Makino doesn't speak a word. Can you not speak Japanese? Silent as always, Makina shakes her head back and forth in denial, apparently having understood my question. Are you afraid of me, maybe? Oh, that's a more likely. Her silence continues, and this time there's neither confirm nor denial. It doesn't seem like she didn't understand the question, which would mean this one is in uncertain territory, somewhere between yes and no. As far as I can guess. I'm repeating myself, but this sort of communication takes a lot of patience and persistence. I try to consciously consider things from Makina's point of view. A transfer student, with a unclear background, What's more, a man 178 centimeters high. From the perspective of Machina, who I'd guess be around 140 centimeters, it might as well be a little intimidating to have me towering above her. For the moment, I crouched down so that my eyes are level with hers. It seemed like you were wandering around the grounds. Are you looking for something?
違うのよ。
Well, we got a word out of her. Machina speaks a single word in a quiet voice and once again shakes her head in denial. Then what were you doing? That's a point of some interest to me, but, well, if you get down to it, wherever she is and whatever she's doing is her own business, I suppose. I'm not a policeman, and I don't have a reason to drag it out of her. In this case, it might be best to find some words to wrap this up cleanly. Give her a good, friendly goodbye, and let this timid creature be on her way. But as I reach this conclusion, Machina slowly moves her hand to the rear of her skirt, grabs something with her stubby fingers, and pushes it in front of my eyes. What's this thing? At a glance, the item in Machina's small hand is a toy-like object roughly the size of an egg, with an LCD screen buried into its center. What?
デジタルペット。
Okay. I was like, wait, is this a digital pet? Or one of those Tamagotchi, Glavins? What's that? On closer examination, there's some unknown life form or monster, most closely resembling a chick, displayed in blocky pixels on the central LCD. It seems to be programmed with some cheap animations, about 3 patterns or so. Come to think of it, I remember reading a news article about this a few years ago. After developing the smallest 3-axis geomagnetism sensor in the world at the time, a certain company fed that technology into a children's electronic toy, which then became an explosive hit among grade schoolers. It's a pedometer, right? Pedometer? Whatever. Pedometer! God, I hope that's not how you say it! One of those things where the pet grows up faster and faster the more you walk?
そう。
See how bright up she got? Nodding her head, Machina returns the pedometer in her hand to her waist. In other words, she wasn't looking for anything in particular. Her wandering self was the objective. Walking's a good thing, since it's aerobatic exercise without too much strain on the joints. And if you're going to walk anyway, having some sort of visible result from the effort might make it feel more worthwhile.
お外にはあまり出たくないから。
I don't either, trust me. That's why I hold up in my house. Machina points at the school gate as she speaks. I see. It makes sense that she'd want to avoid crowded places given her extreme shyness. That would restrict her strolls to pacing around the school grounds, which would quickly get repetitive. So the digital pet serves as a distraction from that boredom. More than likely. You like taking walks?
微妙。
Sorta, is it? Well, walking for fun at this age might be a little odd. It seems more like a hobby of an old man. You have any other interests? Reading, for example? Read any good books lately?
本？
God, you're a nerd. Manga's fine too, whatever floats your boat. To tell the truth, I'd already heard from Amine that Machina often reads books, and reading is a hobby of mine as well. I think it's a decent, common topic for starters. In response to my question, Machina holds her right index finger to her chin and mumbles, while gazing up at the sky as we tend to do every day.
クイズの本。
Quiz? Was it interesting?
裸眼で直視すると命に関わる危険なお菓子ってなんだ？
Oh boy. Are you actually asking me the question? Oh, huh? The fuck? Life-threatening to observe with the naked eye. What kind of death ray weapon is that? And a sweet of all things? And some new tech from the West? Just looking at it is dangerous! Would mean it's probably some variety of optical weapon. Something like an X-ray possessing mass or some sort of beam saber style light-based killing tool. Ooh, no. But if it's just seeing it is dangerous, some sort of super weapon that radiates a pulse to the receptors of the eyeball, using a flickering pattern to stimulate the brain cells and trigger accelerated Hold on. This thing is sweet, right? A sweet. What the fuck? Where do we go from here? All I'm getting is some sort of chocolate pastry shooting out a mysterious beam of light. Pew pew pew. We did all that in a matter of seconds. We thought all that in seconds. Oh no, I give up. What's the answer?
みたらし団子
The fuck? God shit. What?
見たらし団子見たら死ぬのよ
See and die. I get it. I missed that angle. Candy.
もう行ってもいい
Can I leave? Yeah. Sorry to hold you up, I guess. There she goes. Without even a bye or later, Machina leaves the area at a trot, as if fleeing from me. Doesn't seem like she outright hates me, though. I mean, she was... I don't...
逆じゃないかな
What? Hold on. How long have you been standing there?
みたらし団子のあたりかな
Oh, that wasn't so not recently. What do you mean by the opposite?
ああまあなんつうか単純に人見知りってのもあるけどマキナはユウジ君に嫌われないようにしてるんだと思うよ
I thought that whole exchange was adorable. Well, mostly the end bit, though. Trying not to be disliked.
マキナって本当はもっと明るい子なんだけど明るすぎてうざがられることも多いから警戒してるのよ
I don't mind that. Be as energetic as you fucking want. I don't care. Adds to the charm. True enough, I remember seeing her rushing around brandishing a cicada and cackling that first time. If that's her normal state, then the way she behaves in front of me would certainly be a product of deliberating self-restraint, but...
警戒しているってことはユウジ君に嫌われないように意識してるって証拠じゃない
I would just rather her be herself. Like, we as the main character, we don't give a fuck half the time about anything. I think it could be interpreted as simple fear as well.
まあ怯え半分ってのはあると思うけど大丈夫じゃないかな
What makes you say that?
さっきマキナと会話するときユウジ君マキナの目線に合わせて腰を低くしたでしょあれって実は有効手段なんだよね
I was just trying to actually see into her face instead of, yeah. When I was a kid, there was a time I'd been surrounded by unfamiliar adults and I found myself on the brink of tears. When one of the adults stooped down to talk with me face to face, I immediately got emotionally attached. Looking back, I feel like shouting, "You sure got attached to an outrageous person!" Or complaining about what an idiot I was, but...
ほら私も背高い方だし最初はマキナもなかなか懐かなくってさ目線を合わせて話すって裏技に気づくのに1ヶ月もかかったよ
Took us real quick to figure that out, because, I mean, we had that personal experience, so... And now she's glued to you. Or something like that.
確かにべったりだけど言うほどいつも一緒ってわけじゃないわよマキナは基本的に一人で遊ぶ方が好きだしそれにあの子感情のムラが激しいっていうかあんまり変な意味にとってほしくないんだけどずっと一緒にいると疲れるのよね
I totally took that the wrong way. Poor Machina. We gotta protect her. Maybe she's playing by herself because she understands that?
うまく説明できないけど猫みたいなものよ構ってほしい時だけニャンニャン言ってすり寄ってきて飽きたらスッといなくなっちゃう感じくせっ気でふわふわしてるし体もぐにゃぐにゃで柔らかいし体温が高いから抱くと暖かいしなんか甘ったるい匂いするし猫っぽいよね
Cats don't have a sweet scent. They sound like nothing or cat litter. A cat. I see.
まあ慣れないうちはそっけないかもしれないけど絶対に悪い子じゃないから仲良くしてあげてよ。
I mean, she asked me a random question from a quiz book and then fucking waddled off. I don't plan to force her to be friends if she doesn't want to be, but yeah, I'll try to avoid being hated. If I avoid unnecessary contact, I shouldn't inspire any hatred or come to hate anyone myself. In exchange, I won't be liked or come to like anyone either. Maintaining emotional distance along appropriate lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient interpersonal relationships. Of course, there are always those careless puppy dog types who will leap into your arms wagging their tails right from the start.
何よ私の顔じっと見て。
Like a fucking certain someone standing in my face! Well, I'm just thinking how beautiful you are. BAM!
キスしたくなっちゃった？
Whoa, hold on there. You gotta take me out to dinner first. Well, she was trying. Alright, Amine, close your eyes.
うん。
Oh god. Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectation. Amine closed her eyes and thrust out her lips as instructed. We're gonna bop her? Moving quickly and silently, I make a good getaway, leaving the girl to her foolishness.
うん。うん。
We just...
どこ行ったのよ。もう意地悪。
Fucking dipped! I see. Machina may have the right idea. Leaving out later or goodbye entirely and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amine. It's not that I hate you. I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. Oh my god. So I look up the sky. Read books in a well-lit area. That was a teacher teaching of my master's. At that time, I was accustomed to reading while shut up in a closet or dark room, so those words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead, and I'm still not good with direct sunlight. But here I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand anyway. Aren't I just adorable? Damn right we are. We're everything. Now we're looking over there at the sky. No wonder. No, what? Brain. Fucking... No reason to wander around looking for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the school's admissions guide pamphlet. On the coded threefold brochure, there's a bird's-eye view illustration of the campus, with a mark of the to the south of the schoolhouse, an annotated planned site of library construction. Planned site, meaning there isn't a library here, I guess, yet. But that's a pretty weird thing to leave out of a school, isn't it? Although there is something library-esque on the second floor of the school building, the collection only holds around 200 books. You can apply to have a book stocked if you're after one in particular, and apparently a book mobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while. But it doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way to borrow the key to use it. I brought my own books, and there are plenty of well-lit areas besides the library. While casually looking over the pamphlet, I find the words Rose Garden. Ooh! Now this is definitely our principal's doing. Oh my god.
乙女たちの通う学園にはやっぱりバラ園が必要よね。毎年新入生が入学する時期には先輩たちが自分で育てたバラを新入生の胸に添えるの。素敵。
Or so I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age deluding herself. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you've got room to grow them, it would be better used for an edible plant, but telling her that would probably just make things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tachibana with a good day, Onisama, the next time I see her. A rose garden, huh? I don't have interest in edible flowers, but I guess there would be a shade tree or two there. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brings a smirk to my face. Guided by those silly thoughts, I decide to head toward the rose garden for the first and only time. Only? Why? They call it a rose garden, but not a single one's in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the right spot, and there's even a white arch that seems appropriate. But from what I can see, there aren't any roses in flower. Maybe the garden's still a work in progress, or perhaps they cut the buds during summer? Well, not like I came to see roses in the first place, so whatever. But it'd be a shock. You expect and she's fucking derped out. What is she? She's sleeping on a cat! Or, I don't know. Well, that was a surprise. I wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No, more importantly, what the heck is she doing? I approached silently and touched Machina's neck in the area of her carotid artery. She's got a pulse, so she's not dead. She fell asleep eating an apple. On closer inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amine in this case, didn't feed her a poisoned apple. She's sleeping? Wait, is this a cat? I think a large cat is serving as the soundly sleeping Machina's pillow. I'd taken it for a stuffed animal at first glance. That's what I thought it was at first, and I was like, I don't remember her having one. Sure looks like a fluffy toy, but when I draw close, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitch like miniature radar antennas. My next question, why sleep out here, soon resolves itself. I see. Ooh. Oh, look at the leaves. Look at them go. Oh, well, now they're gone. It's definitely nice and cool here. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, or so they used to say. As for Machina, I expect she was wandering around by herself as usual, then grew exhausted and collapsed into sudden sleep on the spot. I watched the partially gnawed apple on Machina's chest rise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of the eating, huh? Just like a baby. I noticed that Machina's mouth is half open and dripping transparent drool. Not to mention, her hair's a scruffy mess. The ribbon on her uniform is crooked, and she's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. The fuck's with this girl? She's cute. As I look down upon her, Machina suddenly snuffles noisily. Didn't expect that out of her. What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even as I'm filled with the desire to keep watching, discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere of this place also wells up within me. Oh god, the cat. At that moment I sensed someone watching me. And look over to find that Machina's pillow cat has woken and is staring right up at me in surprise. Meow. Sorry to bother you. Go back to sleep. Oh damn, I was hoping the cat would listen. Dude, if a cat listens to us, true badass. Truer badass, rather. I leave them, taking care to avoid making noise, and sit down under a tree a little ways away and look up at the sky. Wandering around as she pleases, then falling asleep in the nearest cool place when she gets tired. She certainly does remind you of a cat. I'm rather envious. That's not sarcasm or anything. I'm genuinely envious of Machina. I'm sure that she brings that little pocket of naturally peaceful space with her wherever she goes. I think that's something worth envying, and it's probably very precious to her as well. Which might well be why she doesn't want to step outside the sanctuary of the school if she can avoid it. Inside the sanctuary that would crumble in a moment without the protection of others. I wonder if the day will come when I too can sleep in that utterly defenseless way. Turning toward the sound, I noticed the fat white cat from before appearing from the direction of the thicket I just left. Rustling its way through the foliage on stubby legs, it stops suddenly when it spots me sitting under the shade of my tree. Glaring at me with sleepy-looking eyes, it lets out a single disgruntled meow. Holy shit, meow yourself. Pfft, my bad. After getting suddenly awoken in the middle of a pleasant nap, it's only natural. If I were pulled out of bed on a Sunday morning by some pushy religious solicitors, I'm sure I'd make a similar face. Oh, I'd be so pissed. It's happened before. I don't like it. Although the fat cat doesn't seem to have accepted my apology, he snuffles roughly and lumbers away from this place. As I'm watching the cat's dignified exit, the bushes start rustling again. What's up, Makina? I hear the sound of a dim-witted creature awakening and lazily stretching out its body. When I take a look, Makina's crouched on the ground on all fours, bending her back. She really is a cat in human form. Makina opens her mouth, holds down a yawn, and rubs roughly at the tears spilling out the corners of her eyes. After a restless look around the area, she draws herself up off the ground. It's not like I'm doing anything to be ashamed of, but before I realize it, I've hidden myself from her. Look at her face. After standing stock still for a moment, Makina takes a bite from the apple in her hand and wanders off. And where's she off to now? It doesn't look like she's got any particular destination in mind. Driven by an interest I find difficult to pin down, I decide to quietly follow Makina. Oh, now we're creeping. There's no regularity to Makina's actions. Just when I think she's walking straight towards something, she'll come to a sudden stop, look around restlessly, and then head off in a different direction. It doesn't seem like she's lost or anything, so I suppose she's just moving wherever her whims take her. It makes it incredibly troublesome to find her and tail her. Not that it'd be a serious problem if she noticed me, but if I awkwardly call out to her now, I have the feeling she'll just run off. I skillfully hide my presence and continue shadowing her movements. Okay. Tailing a girl without her knowledge, objectively speaking, I guess this would be stalking. I told you, we're creeping. Just as I'm finally starting to get fed up with following Makina's directionless rambling, which resembles the random staggering of a sleepwalker more than anything else, the rare wandering monster in question comes to a halt. Ooh, what? Ooh. Her resting place is an area on the outskirts of the school country yard. Country yard? What's a country yard? Courtyard, Brain. Thanks, Brain. In front of an artificial cement pond of uncertain purpose. Makina totters her way up to the pond, thrusts her hand in the pocket of her skirt to retrieve some half-eaten white bread, and starts tearing off chunks to throw in the water. She just has that? Fucking weirdo. Every time Makina's small hand hurls a bit of bread into the pond, a loud splashing sound resonates from the surface of the water. Apparently there are fish being kept in the pond and she's feeding them. Now, if she's truly a cat, she wants them all plump because she wants to eat them. She's fattening them up to eat? Clawfish? Makina looks around the area rapidly, grabs a short tree branch lying nearby, then leans over the depths of the pond and begins poking the water. Although I was puzzled there for a moment, it seems like she's trying to capture a crawfish she spotted in the pond. Oh, this isn't... Makina, this isn't going to end well for you. You're going to fall right in that pool. This looks risky. Given her character, it's obvious she'll be taking a face-first dive into the pond very soon if I just sit there. I approach Makina from behind and call out to her. Yeah, that's going to help. Hey, watch out or you'll fall in that pond. We should have just stayed. Now it's happening. Oh, it's done though. I guess I shouldn't have called out to her out of nowhere. Makina's hand slips off the ground in a stereotypical slapstick pitfall. Bam! Whoops. Swiftly reaching out to the floundering Makina, I firmly seize the collar of her school uniform and pull her back to safety. Dangled by the nape of her neck like a kitten, Makina lets out a feline cry. You're light. Are you even 40 kilos? There isn't any difference in weight from the backpack I'm always carrying. Given this weight and size, I could lug a good 25 kilometers in a single day. Oh, sorry.
びっくりしたのよさ。女の子を驚かせたらダメなのよ。
It's not right, but it's pretty fun, especially when you end up in a pool. I wasn't planning to call out to you, but it's better than letting you fall in the pond, isn't it?
助けてくれてありがとう。
Even though I didn't do anything, because that all happened anyway. No need to thank me. I did the natural thing, given the circumstances. Look at me shamelessly doing the life-saving hero number, despite being in large part responsible for the problem in the first place. I might have the makings of an American politician. Ha! Ha! Ha ha! Machina gives a quick bow of thanks, and without another word starts to run away from me yet again. Hey, hold on there, second Missy. Where you think you're going? Don't give me... Why are you running away from me?
別に逃げてないのよ。私に何か用？
When she asked me point blank, it's not like I have any particular justification for detaining her here. That said, it's kind of unpleasant to be avoided this blatantly. At the very least, if there's a reason she's doing this, I want to know about it. I think I asked this before, but are you scared of me?
そうじゃないけど。
Yeah, that's very, very convincing. Is there some reason why you're avoiding me? How about telling me? If possible, I'll try to address it. Again, with the silent treatment. Deciding to pursue the conversation more patiently, I squat down to match my line of sight with Machina's. Do you remember my name?
風見裕二。
Mm-hmm. Occupation student, yes. That's fine. That's right. Yuji's fine.
名前で呼ぶの恥ずかしいよ。
Okay, then call me whatever the hell you want.
じゃあお兄ちゃん。
Oh, you're this character? Of course you are. Oni... Oh, Jesus. I have to say being called their big brother is a bit embarrassing on my end, but... Well... Alright. When I turn around in response to the splashing, no sounds coming from the pond behind me. There are a number of fish gathered at the surface of the water, flapping their mouths in a demand for more food. It seems they've come to expect a handout when people stand near the pond. Machina, you still got any breadcrumbs left?
うん。
Machina thrusts her hand into her skirt pocket and rummages through its contents.
これは違う。で、これも違う。
Does she just fucking carry everything in there? As she talks, she pulls things out of her pockets one after the other. The items that emerge are mostly sweets like candy, chocolate, and chewing gum, along with an erratic selection of tools like nail clippers, rubber bands, and glue sticks. Although I've heard that women's purses are connected to the fourth dimension, this girl's pockets seem to be connected to the garbage dump. Machina carelessly rains down the rubbish that emerges on the ground around her. One after the other. What is this? I pick up a plastic container shaped like a large film canister. There's a label pasted on the side filled with numbers and symbols of uncertain meaning.
それはダメ。それはチルチルにあげるラムネなの。返して。
But it doesn't look like candy at all. No, I'm not gonna steal it or anything. Here, take it. When I hold out the case to her, Machina snatches it back instantly.
これは絶対に食べたらダメなのよ。
Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to sneak bites of other people's food at my age.
そんなこと言って信用できないのよさ。世の中にはそう言っておいてこっそり隠れて食べちゃってすっかりいい気持ちになっちゃった大きいお姉さんもいるのよさ。
That's because a certain oversized woman has no restraint. Hamane, huh?
なんでアマネーだってわかったの？
Who the hell else would you be talking about? Who else do you know? I didn't. Just saying the first name just popped in my head. Really was her? Guess she's got a surprisingly gluttonous side.
私から聞いたって言ったら から嫌なのよ。ほら、パンをあげるからこれで我慢するのよさ。
Good as her word, Machina shoved some half-eaten bread under my face.
はい、全部食べていいのよさ。いっぱい食べてまるまる太るのよ。
I'm not gonna fucking eat it. No, I wasn't planning on eating it. I take the bread scraps from Machina, tear off some small pieces, and throw them into the pond. The fish at the surface struggle like a pack of piranha for the food, messily gulping it all down. Nice appetite, huh? I thought these things were carp, but now that I get a closer look, they're actually goldfish?
金魚なのよ。去年神社のお祭りで私が救ったのよさ。
Aw, she's been raising them, and she's got a little snaggletooth. From a goldfish snatching game, huh?
そう。
If these were originally goldfish from a scooping game, they're almost certainly the tiny kind that's sold as live food for carnivorous fish in pet shops, but these things are huge.
毎日餌をあげてたらどんどん大きくなったのよ。
As, hold on. Oh, God, my throat is, like, dying. Fish generally can keep growing as long as they're alive, so the more you feed them, the bigger they'll get. But just what have you been feeding them?
パンとか普通に金魚の餌とか暇な時とか休み時間のたびにあげてたのよ。
And when she gets bored. Ah, I get it. Fish don't really have a sense of being full, and they don't feel nerve pain either, so they'll eat as much as you can give them, even if their stomachs are bulging out.
そうなの？
The number one cause of death among aquarium fish is indigestion from being overfed. Or that's what it said in something I read when I was a kid.
なんて本？
I think it was a magazine called Monthly Junior Science. There was an article about raising fish in an ozonized water where it was mentioned.
へえ、お魚の本なの？
Why is she so surprised about this? Not just fish. It had features on other things, like animals or space as well. My older sister was a seriously dedicated reader. I'd pick up magazines like that when she was finished, although half of it went over my head. As I'm recalling the content of the science magazines I read back then, I suddenly remembered something. Hey Machina, you had some pickled squid in that pocket, didn't you?
あるけど、金魚にあげるの？
She just has all this shit. No, just take it out for now. Also, have anything we could use for a string?
お裁縫の木綿糸ならあるけど、何するの？
You'll see. Receiving the squid from Machina, I firmly tie one end of the thread around it, and then knot the other end to a tree branch I picked up at random.
釣り竿？
Exactly. So now I toss the squid dangling by the thread into the pond. Around the area where I threw the squid, I can see the shape of the crawfish Machina had been poking at earlier. When I jiggle the squid in front of its face, within a matter of seconds, the crawfish extends its pincers and firmly seizes the bait. There, hooked him. See that?
すげえ！ザニガニ釣れた！
Better than the crappy way you were trying to do it. It's not a crawfish, it's a clawfish. Wait, other way around. Don't listen to me, Machina. You got the word wrong. As I dangle the captured crustacean in front of her eyes, Machina stares at it with an expression of immense curiosity.
ザニガニ真っ赤だね。
Clawfish, that's what it should be called. There must be a lot of edible aquatic plants or something in there. Crawfish turn red when they have abundant food.
餌が少ないとどうなるの？
They die. They turn blue.
青くなる？
Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. If you take a small newborn crawfish and continuously give it food like potatoes, radishes, and sardines, that don't contain serotonin, it'll turn blue in a month or so.
本当に
I read it in a book when I was a kid and ended up trying it out myself. There were some that ended up with a lot of violet spots or white flecks, but I remember getting a few that turned deep blue as well.
いいなあ私もやってみたい
At least they're being fed, I suppose. Alright, then try to catch one yourself. I pull the captured crawfish off the squid to return to the pond, then hand the fishing pole to Makina.
私に釣れるかなやったことないのよさ
Experiencing new things is always worthwhile, so you might as well start by trying to catch one yourself.
じゃあやってみる
Don't fall in the pond, alright? Also, try to get the smallest one you can.
頑張るのよさ
This is gonna end horribly. Taking the crude pole from me, Makina forcefully hurls the squid into the pond. Oh. Did she win?
ザニガニ釣れるといいな
We're underwater now, boys and girls. I already told you, it's crawfish, not clawfish.
仕方がないのよさ私はバカだから
I'm an idiot. Alright, is that the issue here? I mean, I do remember pronouncing snail as smail back when I was in elementary school for a while, but after my sister pointed it out to me, I stopped making that mistake. It's kind of like me when people are like, Scott, you're saying that word wrong. And I'm just like, yeah, and I know I'm saying it wrong, but I still say it because it's funny to me. Didn't you have someone point out that sort of mistake for you? Your mom, for instance?
お母さんは私のこと嫌っているから
Is that her thing? Oh boy. I see. There's no mother in the world who hates her child, was my mother's line, but by now I'm all too well aware that the world isn't that simple. I suppose there really are mothers who hate their children, and for those children, that can be a topic they want to chat about with some stranger. An awkward attempt at consolation would backfire here.
お兄ちゃんは優しい人なのね
Well, thanks, I try to be. Me? Actually, I don't try to be. Seems like I haven't quite gotten the hang of being called Oni-chan yet. You serious? How am I nice?
ね私の家族に無関心でいてくれるところ
I just wasn't interested enough to risk it.
なんで嫌われてるのか興味ない
The way I see it is if you're gonna tell me, you'll tell me eventually. I'll need to pry. I stare steadily at Makina's small back silhouetted against the pond. If you wanna talk, I'll listen.
ねそれは私がバカだから
But that just adds to your charm. Like, don't they say that kids are cuter when they're a little dumb?
私のバカを侮っちゃいけないのよこう見えても私札付きで筋金入りのバカなのよさ
I feel like she's not. I feel like she's just saying that because it was like pounded into her head forever. I don't know. Can't say I've ever heard anyone with that fierce reputation for being stupid before. Well, don't worry about it. There's nothing but idiots in my vicinity, including me.
ね私ね別にお兄ちゃんのことが嫌いで避けてたわけじゃないのよ逆に嫌われたくなくてバカな子だなってそう思われないようになるべく近寄らないようにしてたのよさ
Oh, I feel so sad for her. It's like I said, surrounded by idiots. If I went around hating people for something like that, I'd run out of my supply of hate real fast. Well, there certainly are people who can't hold it together on their fragile sense of self-worth except by looking down on others. Even a few true idiots who take those emotions to the extreme become dictators or cult leaders and launch hunts against their inferiors. But why assume you'll be hated over something like that anyway? That way of thinking seems counterproductive. Debase yourself by saying, I'm just an idiot, and you'll just puff up at the many self-styled geniuses around the world.
でもね、私、あまねみたいに綺麗じゃないし、ユミちゃんみたいに頭良くないし、何の才能もないのよさ。
Well, we don't know exactly how smart you are, and you got the cute going on. Pretty's different. You got cute. There's no point standing around with your mouth open waiting for talent to fall from the sky. You make your own.
どうやって？
Damn. That's, no matter what you're doing, the most essential thing is not to give up. Fail as many times as it takes. Keep trying persistently until you call yourself average.
それでも人並みだよ。
Average is just fine. If you can collect a nice group of average level skills, that's already above average. You've created your own sort of talent. Being a hard worker is a talent in its own right, were my sister's words. And from the group of average skills, you can work to improve further on the things that you're suited for. A person blessed with talent, in a manner of speaking, is just someone who found a path well suited to them early on. When you get down to it, people can accomplish nearly anything as long as they don't give up. Obvious, but it's true. On the other hand, guys who give up at the first setback will never get anything done. There's no need to rush. You're still a kid. You got time. Try out anything and everything. Struggle around as much as you want. I rest my hand on Machina's head with a gentle thump. It's at just the right height for this sort of thing. That's what school's for, right?
そうなのかな。
God, we're just the best! At the very least, I think the principal wants this school to be that sort of place. So you might as well throw out your chest and do as many stupid things as you want, with pride. Of course, if this girl ends up doing something truly dramatically stupid, the principal will be the one facing the music. So I'm probably overstepping my boundaries here just a little bit.
じゃあ私バカでもいいの？
You're damn right it is. Not everyone's smart. Why not? Being dumb's fine. In the first place, guys who go around calling themselves geniuses are either weaklings with fragile egos or jokers who use the line to get a laugh. And even if you were some genius, that just makes it easy to mistake yourself for a perfect human and start slacking off. Hares like that get passed by the tortoises of the world eventually.
そっか。やっぱいい人ね、お兄ちゃん。
Don't get me wrong, I just wanted to try playing the nice guy for a little bit. You shouldn't trust me that easily, got it?
あ、知ってるそれ。ツンデレってやつなのよさ。チルチルがいつも練習してるのよ。勘違いしないでよねって。
Okay, I don't want a little girl. I don't want a little soon, alright? We already have a fake soon going on. How do I put this? I'm not sure how I feel about being put in the same boat as that girl. Machina? I think you got a bite.
おお、なんとしたことか。
Well, you stop being dumb and... No need to rush. Slowly pull it out of the water. Is she gonna get it?
ザリガニ、あ、違う。ザリガニ釣れてる。釣れたのよさ。
There we go. That's the ticket. See? People can do anything if they try. So don't give up on your dreams before you start, okay?
なんか自信ついた感じ。このザリガニを部屋に持って帰って青くなるか実験してみた。
What? Why did... It cut off real quick there for a second. Okay, then you should go to Omni or Sachi and see if you can find an aquarium to raise it in. Make sure you only feed it stuff without carotene.
アジとかイワシ、大根やジャガイモ。
Oh, you remembered. I put my hand on Machina's head and ruffle her hair around roughly.
こう見えても記憶力は結構いいのよ。
Alright, Better get that crawfish in the water while it's still in good shape. Don't overfeed it, alright?
わかった。ありがとうお兄ちゃん。また遊んでくれる？
Yeah. See you later.
ありがとう。
Damn. Machina, still clutching the crawfish, waves her hand cheerfully and takes off at full speed toward the dorm. Thanks, huh? I don't recall doing anything worthy of much gratitude, but regardless, hearing such a happy thanks feels kind of pleasant. Maybe it's because I was raised in an environment where such words were very rare. But I think being able to thank others so freely is also sort of a talent. It probably seems perfectly commonplace to her, so I'm sure she's not even conscious of that skill. I sort of get the feeling she may just be overlooking the talent she does have. Ah, I get it. I guess that's what makes her an idiot. They say that idiots can't catch colds, but it's probably more accurate to say idiots don't realize when they've caught a cold. In the same way, because Machina's an idiot, she probably is oblivious to her own abilities. Honestly, what a weird girl. But then again, weird people are rarely boring. Yup. Or so I think, basking in the peaceful, sluggish atmosphere Machina left in her wake. Damn. We're awesome, we're a badass, and we give super real advice. Holy shit, man. I think this is best character fucking for me 2017 maybe. Well, main character anyway. Holy shit.